it is with much joy that I acknowledge, firstly, my Father in heaven and his Son Jesus Christ for the great honour that has been placed on me today. And I dedicate this term to their service and commit to seeking their will in the good days and the bad. I want to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay my respects to the elders, both past and present, and make a special mention to Shannon Rusker and the new knuckle dancers. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you to our federal members who are here today, Mr. Bert Van Manen, member for Ford, and the Dr. Jim Chalmers, member for Rankin. Thank you very much for being here. I'd also like to acknowledge our state members. And firstly, can I acknowledge the Honourable Leanne Enoch, who is not only the member for Algester, but a fantastic Woodridge girl, who has made a tremendous success for herself. Thank you, Leanne, for being here. The Honourable Cameron Digg, member for Woodridge, and Mark Boothman, member for Albert, and Michael Crandon, member for Coomera. Thank you all so much for being here today. But before I go on, I want to acknowledge my wonderful family. None of us on this stage can possibly achieve what we have without the support and sacrifice of our families. And so to my amazing wife, Andrea, to my three beautiful daughters, Ellie, Tegan, and Amelia, thank you. I could not do the things I do without you. Your unwavering support and love is the backbone of any success that I have achieved in my life. Thank you very much. I would also like to acknowledge my father, Kevin Smith, and my sister, Nikki McKenzie, my father and mother-in-law, Diane and Jim Milbury, my pastors, Mark and Cindy, and my dear friend, Tony Panisi, for being here today, and thank you for all your support during the campaign. And today I accept this honour in memory of my mother, Lynn Smith, who lived her days serving people in Logan. She taught me the importance of loving others as much as you love yourself, and she will always be honoured in the memory of my life as I serve this city in the future. But I want to thank you, all of our volunteers, all of our wonderful supporters, for being here today, taking time out of your busy schedules, for standing in the heat, handing out vote cards, standing there when the rain came, ensuring the voice of these people were heard. Thank you for your support, and on behalf of all of us here, thank you. Well, it is truly a humbling experience to be voted for, and to be voted for in the city, elected as mayor in any city, but to be elected as mayor in the city that I grew up in is truly an honour that I will cherish forever. And I dare say that if my grade 3 teacher, Miss Chakalakis, was here, she would question the democracy in action. But I'm so proud of the city that we have become. And I've watched the city of Logan grow and transition. Like any newborn, we had our growing pains, we had our teenage years, and now in our 30s, it's time for us to focus on our future. And we can stand on the firm foundation that has been laid by those who have served before us, those who have toiled and chipped away at the hard rock of past preferences and former mindsets to force the reshaping of this foundation that will allow us to build a structure that we will be able to embrace the inspirational future that we have before us. And in this space, I'd like to acknowledge our former Mayor, Pam Parker, for her tremendous work. But it falls to us to stand on the foundation provided by those who have gone before us. And we can stand tall. After 8 years of foundation building post-amalgamation, bringing 3 distinct areas into one city of Logan, it falls to us to ensure that what is now built on this foundation is a city that honours our past and cultivates a new and exciting future. So on this day, as we contemplate our future, I say to you, we need to fix our eyes every day on the greatness of the city of Logan. And we must love her. When we realise Logan's greatness and reflect what makes her great, we must resolve to give Logan the best contribution and effort we possibly can. We must be determined to ensure that the greatness of our city will stand the test of time. We must be determined to ensure that regardless of the perceptions placed upon us by others, the greatness of our city will stare down surrounding cities and prove them inadequate against us. We must be determined to ensure that the people of Logan will be proud of our greatness and boldly proclaim the great things of our city. We must be determined to ensure that our potential will be realised and our greatness widely declared as we inspire change, think beyond our ambitions and push the boundaries of our capabilities. As a city, we can be whatever we determine the future to be. It is not mapped out for us and our paths are yet to be formed. And as your mayor, I will not be afraid of change. Instead, I will embrace it and build upon the strong foundation that we have. When JFK addressed his nation, he inspired them to get him to the moon. And he forced a transitional change within the very heart of his people. People stopped looking within and started looking at the possibilities of what they could achieve together. And so today, to challenge you, do not look any longer at the perceptions that are placed upon you, for it is time for you to reach your potential. When we set our goals, may they not be reachable in our own efforts, but achieved through the synergy of mindset change of not just the leaders on this stage or seated in the front row, but of the people of this great city. When ancient Greece gave birth to democracy, it began in the city. It was the city where people felt the safest, where commerce and trade took place, and where the economy of the nation found its foundation. It was the city where community was formed, where the poor were cared for and families became friends. Many times throughout history, we read about dangers outside the city or outside the city walls, where there was no safety and no protection and no source of sustenance and lawless behaviour. There was security and peace found within the city. And throughout history, the central connection point of everything was the city. All roads lead to Rome has been stated throughout the ages because at one stage it was true. And even our own modern era, farmers and workers would come into the city for essential items and then journey back to their homes. In the days of old, the city was the safest when the walls were in place and intact. And it was the role of the city leaders to ensure that the walls stood strong and free of fault. It was the role of the city leaders to concern themselves about the quality of life of the citizens and to protect them from harm and neighbouring armies. City leaders were chosen to be the single point of decision making and the team that would take the responsibility for all the cares and concerns for those within its walls. As in ancient Greece, the duty of today's civic leaders still ring true. The Greek word demos means people. It's where we get our word democracy, as in the people of Logan, or the body of citizens collectively. The people chose the assembly, and the assembly stood for the people. Decrees or decisions from the assembly began with the words, "It seemed best for the people." From the assembly, a council of citizens were chosen. And decrees and decisions from the council began with the words, "It seems best to the council." And still, as in Athens, soon that they discovered that it was only when decrees and decisions were formed that began with the words, "It seems best for the council and the people," that a true sense of understanding of democracy was felt and experienced by all. Thousands of years later, we find that there is still no truer sense of representation than when we are chosen by the people to stand for the people. There is no greater honour to be chosen to serve, but there is no greater respect of that honour than to ensure that all our decision begins with what is best for the people. We stand here today not as representatives of council, but as representatives of the people of Logan. And it falls on us, on this stage, all of us, to maintain this truth and to hold it in the forefront of our minds, so that in the midst of tough times and in moments of big decisions, we will not be swayed by any other focus than that of democracy, than that of the people who call the City of Logan home. And I put a challenge out to the new council, to all of us, to draw a line in the sand, to move forward and do all we possibly can to work as a team. I want us to be a team that is an inspiration to our city, not one that's divided by divisions, but a team that works through differences, moves forward and inspires to lift the people of our city to greater belief in who they are. As Mayor of this city, I see my role as to unite that team and to unite our city. And I see my role as Chief Advocate and Ambassador of Logan, whose job includes propelling our city on the state and federal agendas. And so I ask you one and all to see Logan not for who we are today, but for who we can be 10 years from now and who we can be in the years to come. As we embrace our multinational presence of 216 cultures, are we not perfectly poised to be the true world city? As we realise the potential of our location and establish ourselves as the central hub of commerce for South East Queensland, are we not well placed to be the next Silicon Valley for Australia? So I ask you, can you see? I see a city that can lead the way in digital technology and advanced manufacturing, attracting the attention of other levels of government and generating not just jobs, but new and futuristic careers. I see a city that can innovatively blaze a trail into a new era of public-private partnerships. I see a city that can ensure potential and results overtake perceptions. I see a city that can continue to hold on to a community spirit that stands alongside of those in need and those who deserve a second chance. And I see a city that can encourage innovation and drive change to inspire a nation. Logan is a great city, and together we have already achieved great things. And with this team and your support, I believe that greater things are yet to come. Thank you very much.